I think I've heard one time, I think it was last year, the first time I ever heard a man say, like, I would like to be chased. And I was like, you have a vagina? Like, I'm confused because, like, I've never heard any man say that. Like, it's one thing to want a woman to put effort into you, just like you're putting effort into her. That's cool. But, like, for you to say you want to be chased, that's just weird as hell to me.
And now, the thing he said about men are the hunters, he's correct. But did anybody ever think that the thing we're supposed to be hunting is not women exactly? It's not women. It's men are the hunters in the terms of hunting and gathering. Let me tell you something my wife told me about a middle school teacher.
How are you the prize if the prize is the thing that you need to attain? Like, if that's the thing that, like, you were doing all of these things for, how are men the prize? Like, is not having, like, a woman of substance to raise your children, to bring up your value in society, to introduce you into a different level of manhood, is that not the prize for being a good provider, protector, and all of this stuff?
Men aren't obsessed with women anymore. We have a clip for this. Shan?
Yeah.
You wrote a clip?
Men aren't obsessed with women anymore, and it's weird. These men are more into themselves than they are women. They expect a woman to buy them flowers and chocolate. In their mind, they're the catch, and women should chase them. But that was never how it was intended to be. As men by nature, we are hunters. Women are the catch. We gotta put the work in. But these men are too self-absorbed, and they expect a woman to do everything.
Woo! Who want to start off? This one is kind of juicy.
Well, I don't like light-skinned niggas.
I want
Don't do that, Trigger. Don't do that shit. It's too early.
What the hell was he talking about?
What you mean?
I have
You
to say
understand
that
English?
I have never, ever heard or crossed path with a man that expects me to chase him. Never.
Me either.
Me.
Same.
No.
Yeah.
If I think about it, no. There are men that say it, but those are the men that really don't want to put any effort to, to approach women. They don't probably have the good approach. And, I get it. Nobody likes to be rejected. We're humans. Nobody likes it. And I think men deal with rejection more than women in reality.
For sure.
And it, I think they handle rejection differently. And it's just that some men really don't deal with it. Or they whatever, just okay, she said no, bye, and some other really take it personal. Because I think we all as women have been in the position where, like, they approach you, you said I'm not interested, and then they come with something personal, like, oh, I wasn't even interested anyway. Like, come on, like, then that's something little that I'm saying, because sometimes they get really aggressive. But I've never heard a man that wants me to buy him flowers and things like that. I think they want a woman to show them interest. That's what I think it is. They want to reciprocate, if they're putting effort, they want to see the effort, back and the woman to show interest. That's the way I see it. And it's okay.
So who's going next?
You can go. I was just gonna say something.
This dude done pissed me off, man.
No, wait, Trigger, before you load up the gun and just pop off on him, can I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
So I never, like, that's not like a big thing, but I think I've heard one time, I think it was last year, the first time I ever heard a man say, like, I would like to be chased. And I was like, you have a vagina? Like, I'm confused because, like, I've never heard any man say that. Like, it's one thing to want a woman to put effort into you, just like you're putting effort into her. That's cool. But, like, for you to say you want to be chased, that's just weird as hell to me. And I only heard that one time, and then I just dipped because I was like, that's enough for me. Obviously, this is not going to be a thing. But go ahead, Trigger. So I've heard it one
real
time.
Quick,
I thought it was weird.
Real quick, because Trigger, you about to go off. I see it.
He won't let off.
I promise. I think it's so crazy because now I'm starting to hear this whole thing about men saying that they are the prize. Like,
mistaken, you have been taking my words and just like out of my mind and just.
So yeah, that's crazy to me. But that was all. All right.
Well, so, I also want to say that men do bring value. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to ever be like
value.
Men ain't shit. They don't bring no value. They do bring a great value, and they are needed. I don't never want to say, "Oh, I don't need a man." I'm not one of those. But nevertheless, like some men acting like they have a twat between their legs is an issue for me. Like,
Woo,
don't try to play the
that's
woman's
weird.
role. Okay, a vagina. What would you rather me say? I was trying not
That's
to.
cool. I'm
Okay,
just saying,
vagina.
what? Like what? What?
Well, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Go ahead, sir.
So men are the prize. No, I'm just playing. I'm not, let me explain.
Oh,
Let me
Shan,
explain.
cut him off.
Trigger Mike had a show called Men of the
And
Prize.
mute him.
Don't get into
I believe. So let me tell you what I believe. And this is I do have a show, but I'm building a narrative around it on this particular topic. So I disagree with him because what we are experiencing today is that men are overly obsessed with women. They're overly obsessed with sex. They are not focused on their purpose anymore because sex is so easy and women are so willing to show off their body parts. They are distracted. So I have no idea what he's talking about. Men are not obsessed with women anymore. Men used to be obsessed with their work. Men used to be obsessed with their purpose and their production, and women were just a byproduct. I was out here getting all the women in college and trying to be the same person after I got out. I went broke doing that. But the second I focused on my purpose, had them swinging from my damn bed. I didn't even want them there. Right? So that's what men need to be focused on. Men are overly obsessed with women. Now, the thing he said about men are the hunters, he's correct. But did anybody ever think that the thing we're supposed to be hunting is not women exactly? It's not women. It's men are the hunters in the terms of hunting and gathering. Let me tell you something my wife told me about a middle school teacher that was black, one of her sorority sisters, whatever. She said, do you know that the Hispanic girls the family gives the girls food, toys, the different things to bring to the boys? I said, I absolutely do. Because they're letting the boys know that they're
what? No,
they bring stuff.
I am Hispanic. Come again?
Yes,
I will say yes or no.
in these classes, they're bringing stuff to the boys to basically say, I like you, and things like this, to bring him into the family, let them know they're interested. That is treating a boy like he's the prize. And my wife was like, that's confusing. I said, let me explain it to you. When you do that to a boy, let him know you're interested, you're taking out the guesswork. His hunting comes in when he chooses you and he goes out there and provides a life for you for the entirety of your life. That is what being a hunter is. I'm going to go hunt and gather provisions, resources, my claim to fame, our children's legacy for this house. That's what being a hunter is supposed to be about. If I expel all my energy trying to get a woman, I failed. That's supposed to be the easy part. The courtship and knowing that we sync and getting to know each other, talking about the life we're going to build is the exciting part. If I expend all my energy trying to chase your ass, that's not a relationship I want. Most men got that backwards. So that's why I don't really like that whole men are the hunters, women need to be hunted. I'm going to let you know I'm interested as well. And once we sync up and we start this thing, it needs to be easy from there. Go ahead.
So I agree with 97% of what you said. I just have a question to clarify the 3%, right? Because to me, in trying to like rationalize that thought process of men claiming to be the prize, like I logically can't wrap my brain around that conversation, right? So I need somebody to clarify some things for me. So I'm glad that you brought this up. If you are protecting, providing, and all of this stuff, right? You are the hunter. You are the one who is going out there and conquering, conquesting, doing all of these things, right? How are you the prize if the prize is the thing that you need to attain? Like if that's the thing that like you were doing all of these things for, how are men the prize? Like is not having like a woman of substance to raise your children, to bring up your value in society, to introduce you into a different level of manhood, is that not the prize for being a good provider, protector, and all of this stuff? Like to me, it's not adding up. So I need somebody to make the math.
So the actual prize is the family. The actual prize are the children. What I'm more so alluding to is who's getting treated like the prize and at what part of the relationship. Women actually need marriage for survival. So by that measurement alone, men are the prize. Now, when that woman has provided him with a family and children in his own image, that is when a man starts to look at it like, I have been blessed. I have been given something to go to work for. I have a purpose now. And then the family unit itself and the woman, of course, becomes the prize at that point. That's the way I look at it.
So are you saying that, okay, men are the prize beforehand and then women become the prize after?
I would say so.
Okay.
I think more so because we also have to look at valuable, upstanding, mature men that can facilitate a dream and provide for a home no matter what. They're not rare, but they're not abundant either. So it's way easier for a man to get a quality woman than it is for a woman to get a quality man.
I
That's
agree
just,
with that.
You know what? The way I see it is kind of like an analogy right here. Like the woman wear the prize initially, and if you put it like if you have a foundation, like the Bible, for example, um, it's like you have a treasure full of coins, but you're giving those coins away little by little, and you start running out of the prize. So the more intact you are, the better you are. At the end of the day, if I look at it from scratch, the man is asking for marriage to the woman. Why would the prize have to ask someone else? Like if you're asking that person to marry you. So I think I don't look at it from a competition type of point. Like I don't like to see it like I think we both are the prize for each other. That's just the way I see it. Like if I find a great man, I am blessed and he's my prize, he's my trophy. And if I am a great woman, I am his prize. It's like a man with a medal. It's just an analogy. I'm not saying I'm
trophy
selecting
husband. I haven't heard that one before.
Hey, that's the biggest trophy that you have, and like you show it off and you're proud of it, right? So the same way that when you win a medal and you put it on your chest and you're like, hey, that's the way I see it. But I think it's like it's a win-win situation if you find the right person and both of the people involved. Of course, you cannot get a family without a woman. So at the end of the day, who gave you the family? You have to make a family with a woman. And I understand your point of surviving. You can't survive on your own, as a man or woman. That's the way I see it. You're gonna die alone anyways, even if you're married. But I just feel like people are so concentrated in fighting who is better than who instead of being the right person for each other.
If you're a Christian, you already know that as a man, you have to treat your wife as Jesus did for the church. And what did Jesus do? He died. So let's just always keep that in perspective. I'm not saying that men are not the prize. I think men are the prize for women. And I think women are the prize for men. And just like Mike said, at the end, the family becomes the ultimate prize. And when you raise your children in your own image, especially to glorify God, at the end of the day, you have successfully conquered what we're supposed to do in life. So it's not just about you. It's not just about your husband or your wife. It is about you as a unit, and you're supposed to come together to create something beyond you and your spouse. So the prize talk will go on and on and on about it, but what do you and your spouse do together at the end of the day is the most important thing.